And my name is Vanessa, better known as Kane. No, I lied. I'm not Kane.
Wheels.
I'm Wheels from the dynamic duo Wheels and Kane, and this is my buddy.
Kane or Soul.
And because we haven't posted anything on this channel in for what seems like forever, we decided to do something really fun and review one of our favorite books. And it's a book that probably everyone's read by now, and it is The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. This is her copy, by the way. I don't own it yet. Shame on me. Let me just say, for the people who haven't read this book, what are you doing with your life? Go stop watching this video before we get into the details and pick up this book. Also, I would strongly advise that when you pick up this book, you also pick up a box of tissues, because it's going to be needed. It will break your heart more ways than one. That's.
I think we should just go into spoilers, since I think most people know what it's about.
Okay, well, she wants to go into spoilers. So if you haven't read this book, do yourself a favor and leave, because this is too great to have something this awesome to be ruined. Unless you like things being ruined for you, then go ahead and watch the video.
What should we talk about? Our favorite character?
If you want.
I think I liked Hazel, I think.
Hazel Grace. Hazel Grace Lancaster. Using full name.
I think I felt more connected to her because she kind of became disabled or had to deal with her problem, her cancer, at age 13, and that's kind of when I lost my sight, when I was kind of told that I was already legally blind. So I think we kind of relate to how we have to adjust to kind of having to cope with your life suddenly changing.
And people looking at you differently, and there's this this part in the book where Hazel thinks that it's normal for people to feel sorry for her, and that kind of makes her not want to make friends, I guess you could say, because she just feels like she said in the book, she's a grenade and that she's gonna blow up and just ruin everyone's lives and stuff. And her mom convinces her to go to what group?
Support group
for cancer people and people who have also other disabilities and whatnot. And the cool thing about this group is literally they're in the literal heart of Jesus.
Which I thought was just a funny little...
And there's cancer in the literal heart of Jesus. It is some dark humor in this book. Props to John Green for doing that. She meets Augustus Waters.
Well, what did you think about Gus?
What did I think about Gus? At first, to be honest, I thought he was going to be a tool. I don't know why. Because, guys, I didn't know, like most of you probably watching this video right now, I didn't know what the hell this was about at all. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. All I knew is that my friend Ashley and Soul kept telling me that I need to read this book. I need to read it every day, man. So, I was like, okay, cool, I'll read it. Finally, I finally got it from the library, and I finally read it, and it killed me. But yeah, so originally I thought Gus was going to be a douchebaggery type guy. I don't know why, I just did. But quickly you learn that that's not the case. One of his things is when he talks about oblivion and that it's inevitable, and how he doesn't want to live life that way, and he wants to, he doesn't want to deny himself the simple pleasures of life and deny himself love. I don't know, he's a really sweet guy. I like his metaphor with the cigarettes, about how he talked about the cancer sticks, and how it only gives you put the killing stick between your teeth, and it only gives you the power if you let it. So he pretty much smokes cigarettes unlit.
Another thing I wanted to talk about was how we related to it, but I know it's different from our situations, but how they kind of make fun of themselves in a way.
Exactly.
And we do the same thing.
We do it all the time.
One thing that I noticed is they do it with themselves because they're all disabled or they have something different with them, and it's if somebody else that's not in your group does it, it makes you feel bad sometimes. But us, we do it, it's funny.
It's funny because we understand what the jokes are and the references and all that crazy stuff.
And then this book, it makes you laugh at parts that you don't really want to laugh at, that are kind of sad or just that would kind of make you uncomfortable, but it does make you laugh.
Yeah.
Like one part, what's my favorite part? Not really my favorite, but like one of my top 5 favorite.
The trophies?
Where the trophies, and then what's another one where Isaac's in the hospital and he just got his eye surgery, and they're kind of talking about how when you're disabled or you have a disease or something, you're in the hospital a lot of the time, and how the nurse tells you like it's not gonna hurt when they're gonna like inject you or something. And they're just talking about things people tell you, like, in the hospital, like, to make you feel better.
And it's always that, too. Like, they know full well that what they tell us is a bunch of bullshit. Like, it is gonna hurt, man. It is gonna suck. But for some reason, they feel like they need to feed us these lies to make us comfortable. But we know full well that we're not gonna be comfortable.
And then we know it's not, like, they're not trying to be mean. It's just they're trying to be nice. But, I don't know, sometimes, like, we understand, but sometimes, like, you feel so bad because you're in the hospital or you have to go through this and you don't really want to hear it or something.
And then in a way, too, it's kind of like, can't you just be freaking bluntly honest with us? Because we know that we have what we have and stuff like that. And I think that's what this book brings to the table, too. Like, Gus and Hazel don't want people beating around the bush for them. Like, they know that they're sick and they know that they're going to eventually perish. Now, huge spoiler alert. So if you don't want no spoilers, you better leave right now. Hazel Grace does not die. Okay? And let me just tell you, the whole time you're reading this book, you honestly think it's going to be Hazel that dies. She's the one with the oxygen tank. She's the one that has trouble breathing. Her cancer is far more advanced than Gus's is. Gus is like in readmission when they first meet. And then it comes back. You literally don't think Gus is going to be the one to die. And he does. And I think that is the most devastating part of the book. Because the whole time, from like the first few pages, you're setting yourself up for, okay, Hazel Grace, the main character, the protagonist, is going to die. That's going to happen. And it doesn't happen at all. The person who pretty much saves her life and makes her happy again and whole again is the one who dies. And it's so devastating, and it's just like, what the fuck? Way to go, John Green, for ripping my heart out and freaking throwing it on the floor and stepping on it and wiping your ass with it, because that's what it that's what it felt like. I know this was your intention, John Green, you're an amazing author. I know that was a really weird way to describe my feelings, but it's just heart-wrenching, and it's horrible, and it's great. Like, I read it once, and I cried like a big freaking baby.
But I cried. No, I not really cried, because like, I'm not really a crier for books. I just kind of sit there for a while, just kind of upset. But this one kind of made me tear up a little, but not cry. But I'm going to say I cried because not every book does that. And I mean, I think the thing that got to me was when they're at the funeral and she's kind of mad at God. And I know like you're really into God and all, but that happened to me when my uncle passed away. And it wasn't like I was mad, I was just kind of saying, why did he have to go? And there's so many bad people out there, like murderers or people that hurt people. Why did he have to take my uncle who was
a great person?
A great person. No,
I honestly, like she said, I am a believer in God. Anybody who follows my YouTube channel knows that. But I've been in that situation too. Some of you may not know, I lost my mom when I was 19. And I went through the same exact feeling. I was like, if God was real and if he loved me the way the Bible says he loved me and all that good stuff, why would he take away the one person that made me happy and that understands me 100%? Like, that's exactly how I felt. And that's why I think this book is, like, so relatable. Because I felt those feelings that Hazel has felt, you know?
Okay.
And we've all felt it. We've all felt like, why did this person have to go? And that's what Hazel feels. And, yeah. So I get it. Get it 100%.
What's another one? I think I related to Isaac in some way.
Because he's blind?
He's...
For the obvious reasons.
He's, like, blind, but I think he was, like... I think when I first kind of went blind, I was really sad, but then slowly I started kind of getting
accepting
used to it.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny how, at first he's kind of... He doesn't care that he's blind, he just cares that his girlfriend dumped him.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, I just really liked his character. He kind of stayed strong throughout the whole thing.
What was their word, forever, or was it always?
Always.
And then that's when Gus and Hazel decided they wanted to be okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. The most devastating word in the English language, you guys, is now okay. That one and real or not real. That's pretty devastating too. I don't know if you guys know what the fuck that's from, but if you don't, shame on you.
I just caught onto that one right now.
Shame if you don't know what that's from.
What's another part of the book? The funny parts, we should because we're talking about sad parts.
I know, we're being all depressing here.
I like the ending where Hazel's playing with Isaac, the game that you just kind of talk to it. And they're like, run against the wall in like 5 steps or something.
Oh,
and they're trying to make the game stay like
the game that's based off Gus's favorite book, right?
Yes, but it's like a blind kind of, for visually impaired
yeah.
people, blind version. And basically the screen is black and they're just kind of talking to it and then it feeds them information of what's going around them. And I thought that was really funny because I wish I had a game like that because that sounds really interesting to play with friends.
That would be fun. Another part that I really enjoyed about this book is the scene where they go and egg Isaac's ex-girlfriend's car just to have Isaac live a little bit, you know, and get that pent-up frustration out of him. And just like the overwhelming feeling that he gets, like that overwhelming feeling of happiness, like, I egged someone's car. It was a really cool feeling because I've been in that situation where I just want to do something and I can't do it, and I do it, and it's just like, yay! Or like the part where he breaks the trophies to release
The Night of the Broken Trophies.
The Night of the Broken Trophies. I love that. Another thing that we should discuss is Peter Van Houten
or something.
The author of Imperial Affliction.
Yeah, an Imperial Affliction. I thought he was
Which
kind
is
of
Hazel's
rude,
favorite
kind
book.
of. But like, I felt kind of sorry for him because you kind of get the idea that maybe the book that he wrote is based off someone he really cared about,
Which is his daughter, obviously.
And I felt bad for Hazel and Augustus because they wasted their wish. Augustus' wish on
to go to Amsterdam, and he was a douchebag.
But I also felt sorry for Peter Van Houten
because he lost his daughter. He's an alcoholic,
and he kind of not really redeems himself towards the end, but he kind of goes to Gus's funeral or something.
And that was really shocking. I was not expecting that. I wasn't at all. But then again, their Amsterdam trip turned out to be great. I mean, they had, you know, they did their thing.
I thought it was kind of sweet.
You guys know what I'm talking about, right? You know.
That was like a good trip and a sad trip because Hazel finds out Gus's cancer came back.
Mm-hmm. So I remember the part that got to me that made me like, I don't remember what page it's on. I wish I knew. But when he tries to go to the gas station to buy himself new cigarettes because his parents threw him away, and like when she finds him, he's like full of urine and vomit, and it's just, I don't know. Like I said, the whole entire time you literally think Hazel's gonna be the one to die, and it doesn't happen that way. I'm not saying that I would have preferred her to die because it would have been obviously devastating, but John Green took us for a loop because, like I said, in the very beginning of the book, first person you're introduced to is Hazel Grace. You find out that she has cancer, so you're thinking, oh, kid with cancer, she's gonna die, duh. It's bound to happen. I mean, I know it sounds weird, but, you know, but then it just doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, one more thing I wanted to point out. Who thought that Hazel, or the book was gonna end like the Imperial Affliction, that it finishes like halfway through the sentence? I thought that was going to happen with Hazel. Maybe that at the beginning when I thought she was going to die, I thought maybe that was how the book was going to end. But it just kind of finishes with like Gus's letter to Peter Van Houten. And then with that quote that like, you don't get to choose if you get hurt in this world, but you get to choose who hurts you or something.
Yeah, and I for one like my choices. That's actually one of my favorite quotes in the book. And another one of my favorite quotes is, without pain, how can we truly know joy?
Oh, that's one of my favorites too.
I agree with that quote 100%.
And then I like Hazel's like comeback of like, well, to suffice that, the taste of chocolate doesn't taste the taste of broccoli or something.
Yes. Another great quote is, life is not a wish-granting factory. Which means life is not all fine and dandy. And that's what I've realized, it's what she's realized. And I think that's why this book hits close to home. And like I said, if anyone hasn't read it, they should go read it. Please? The movie comes out June 8th, 2014. Yes, I know the date. Don't judge me. I think it's the 8th or the 6th. It's one of those two. But I would advise that you go read it.